Hey guys, and welcome to my next live stream of Train Simulator. As you know, unfortunately in the previous one, we derailed before we reached Rothley. Now we're going to continue on from there on our journey back to Loughborough to end this anniversary properly. Set up again. Do not make me come over there! Here we go. We're on our way to our next stop, which is Cromwell Woodhouse. Yeah, I like how the regulator is connected to this thing. Whoa! There we go, wheel slip here. Yeah, I don't want to pull the regulator up too quickly, so otherwise that'll cause a wheel slip. So anyway, about Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell here was one of 55 Britannia Pacifics built in the 1950s for British Railways. And they were designed by Robert A. Riddles, and they performed all over the British rail system. And this engine is known for holding the famous farewell to steam specials in the summer of 1968, exactly 50 years ago. And after that, this engine was incorporated into the National Collection, which was that was actually meant for Britannia. But unfortunately, she was damaged, leaving Oliver Cromwell as a substitute. And as a result of being incorporated into the National Collection, this loco here spent many years at the Bressingham Steam Museum at Diss, Norfolk, before being transferred to Loughborough's the Great Central Railway right here for its restoration to mainline running condition. If you're wondering about Class Leader Britannia, well, Britannia is privately preserved, and it usually appears on mainline excursions throughout the preservation career, while she's presently undergoing repairs at crew. You know what I mean. Which you didn't know that I've driven Britannia on the Royal Train in Train Simulator about a few months ago for the Queen's birthday. I mean, I was originally going to use Duchess of Sutherland, but decided to go for Britannia instead with the white roof on it. I used the white roofed version of Britannia, because that's what condition she was in when she pulled the Royal Train, you know, probably for the Queen's Jubilee. And now you may notice the black version of the Oliver Cromwell nameplate on there. Well, I kind of prefer them over the red version though. I mean, I think I'm used to the black version the first time I've seen Cromwell in Steam 10 years ago during the 1968 event. And the unique thing about the Great Central Railway right here is that it's the only heritage railway in Britain to have double tracks. Whereas most others have single tracks, well, except for platforms where they have two platforms connected by points, like in the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. Say for example Romont, for example like Gothland, Leversham, and also Pickering, and also West Somerset Railway at like Minehead and Bishop's Lydiate. As you know, I'm not used to driving locomotives tender first, because you always have no idea what's ahead of you on the return trip. You have to keep looking back at all times. I mean, I kind of prefer driving them chimney first. And also, you notice here, Oliver Cromwell, if I can zoom in on the brake pipe on the tender, you see it's only got the single vacuum brake pipe, as compared to Britannia, where it has dual brakes, both vacuum and air brakes. And even though they're different, they actually work the same way. Oh yeah, the overhead warning stickers on the engine control when it's under overhead wires or when it's on the mainline network. One thing we have to do with locomotives. Whoa! It just like jerked a little bit. I mean, if a locomotive did that in real life, I think it might not be able to stay on the track if it was in this condition. Yeah, I don't want to have like the derailment of one of the locomotives to the Great Central Line. I think it was like one of the 2MT locomotives during the TPO special. I mean, I think there's a video of that on YouTube already. Lag. I apologize for that, really. Doing well with the live streaming. That's very good. I'm using my iPad Pro for monitoring. That's because I really don't have another monitor for this laptop that I'm using. Not that far now to Cromwell. So at some point here I'm going to have to shut off the regulator, take control of the brakes, bring her to a nice gentle stop. I'm getting tired. Probably go to bed after this. Let's check the results after this to see if it's working fine. Pretty sure I sound the whistle already. Just to let people know that I am coming into the station really slowly, at a slow pace. Again, I'm approaching it at 10 miles per hour on heritage railways. Look at all these people still in the same position. I mean, don't they ever get bored? Don't get why some people are half buried on the platforms. we go, bring it to a nice smooth stop. I don't know if that's smooth enough, but at least it's worth it. And while we're unloading the passengers off, we'll have a quick look around Cromwell. And this track here is where locomotives come in and out of the Heritage Railway by a low loader. Because like I said before, this line isn't connected to the mainline tracks. So that means locomotives have to arrive and depart this line by road. You may notice that lever right there in the middle, but that's for the steam brake, for the locomotive. Although it's not quite simulated properly on this model. Yeah, that's a whistle I remember sounding at the 1968 event at the National Railway Museum 10 years ago. I remember sounding that a few times, and I think one of the support crews of Oliver Cromwell was getting quite annoyed with that, I think. Yeah, a little thing for the air pump, normally found on Britannia. Despite Oliver Cromwell doesn't have air brake features, but it's got TPWS, which is for when it's operating on the main line. Maybe I think that's one of the reasons why the support crew on the locomotives told us not to play around with the whistles in the first place. Meantime, let's get her to stretch her legs. Mind you, trees really do sometimes get in the way. You may notice a surprise that over there that will be passing us shortly. I'll go to 3 room, soon you'll see why. Yep, this is Witherslack Hall that's passing us. It's a modified hall class. On its way to Leicester. As you can see here, there's a BG coach in the BG coach on the front of one of the coaches. The reason I put that there is because that's mainly for passengers with severe disabilities, you know, like on a wheelchair. Or that. You get what I mean, really. Anyway, let's continue on our way to Loughborough, to Loughborough Station. Not a bad journey though, apart from the derailment of Rothley. Apologies for the lag. His thing issues with train simulators. Sometimes lag along the journey. Only one thing you may notice about Oliver Cromwell here is there's this place for hands, whereas unlike smoke deflectors have these hand plates on them, whereas unlike Britannia, where it has handrails on the smoke deflectors, because that's sometimes the reasons why they tend to obscure the driver's vision. Unlike other locomotives like Flying Scotsman, where double chimneys have obscured the driver's vision, and that was the reason they had smoke deflectors in the first place. Well, you'll see a Flying Scotsman in her current VR condition today, with a double chimney and smoke deflectors. So I can't imagine her running on this line. I suppose, I don't know if, I think Flying Scotsman has one of the Great Central Railway before. Well, I don't know if they'll do that now. There's not a bother about that. Train simulator, anybody? Now's a good time to shut off. Now we're coming into Loughborough Station. They'll call it Loughborough North. But I'm down nearly down to 10 anyway. And you can see on my left here is the TPO Mark 1 coaches. And again, they're used for the travelling post office demonstrations on this line. I mean, I have sometimes visited that TPO coach at the Railway Museum in York. What's funny about that is whenever I see people seeing that coach, they always talk about the Great Train Robbery from 1963. I think that's something I would recommend, that we watch a documentary about that, or a movie about that if you find it. I mean, documentaries about the Great Train Robbery are well worth tracking down. You can find it on like Skybox or online. We're back to where we've started. The Loughborough Station, Platform 1. Oh, pardon me, I just farted. Oh well, better out than in. Wait for it, and I think now's a good time. I'm not sure the correct stopping point though. I think this should be enough. Well, in the meantime, while we're unloading the passengers off, we'll have a quick tour around the station. These people. Oh, excuse me again. Carry on with your usual lives, people. Let's see. I know this right here is a gift shop. You can buy souvenirs from there. I think that's the ladies' toilets. But I'm still not entirely sure where the gentlemen's toilets are. I mean, it really should be against the law to not have gentlemen's toilets in public places. There's the engine sheds right over there. But unfortunately, I haven't got the locomotive to show you that, like the ATEPs or Salamiel, like what you saw in the TPL180 special. Let's get rid of that. We don't need it. Look at her. She's magnificent from this angle. But what you find unique about these Britannias is the fact that they're named after King. They were named after people from British history and literature. Oliver Cromwell here was named after the dictator himself. I think he should be. I think he'd be better off being remembered as a steam locomotive than his position in history. I think there was other Britannians that also have the name of William Shakespeare. You know, the famous writer. Don't you know the phrase, all's well that ends well? Now, I probably might have done Shakespeare before when I was at school, doing English. I don't know about that, I don't care. What a journey that was, eh? To conclude the 50th anniversary of the end of Steam. Right here, be a locomotive to see for the time being. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching this 50th anniversary of the end of Steam with Oliver Cromwell. I'll probably see you all next time. Anyway, so until then, peace.